Hello, thanks for visiting the landing page. I'm sitting here with Jim Kimberly. He's a leadership coach who's going to be hosting one of our webinars that's coming up on managing the performance of your remote team. He's a very successful coach and has more time on his hands than usual, so we're very fortunate to have him sitting in and doing a webinar for small business owners and any leader really of any organization. I'll let Jim talk a little bit about his background and then get into what he's going to be talking about on Thursday, May 7th from 12:30 to 1:15.
Great. Thanks, Donato. Hello, everybody. And we look forward to providing you with updated information that's going to help you now. Real practical tips around leadership of your remote workers is our topic for the for the 7th. So we're going to look at techniques, and I'm just going to share my screen with you real quickly, and I'll show you kind of what we have on tap for our meeting. Really, our audience is really for any business owner, leader, or manager who are leading people who are currently not next to you physically, and so remotely connecting through technology, phone calls, whatever way you're doing it these days. So we're going to take a look at some of the basics of managing performance in general that's now going to be applied to the remote environment. So I'll go over some of those basics, but then really look at how to apply it in this particular situation. We're going to have some practical tips that's going to help your remote workers actually track their own performance so you don't have to. What we're interested in and what we're always worried about as a leader is, how do I bring up the difficult subject, or how do I talk about what they're accomplishing while they're at home each day working without being a nudge, without trying to overly monitor it. And so we have some tips and tricks that will help actually your employees monitor their own performance and be able to report that to you in a non-threatening way without having you to ask for it. Definitely, we're going to talk about also the difficult conversations and the tough feedback when performance is slipping. People are not able to perform at the same level. You're going to have to decide when and how to have that discussion. Now, many people at home today are really beating themselves up for not performing to the high level that they're used to. And so, I think there's to a certain extent we have to take that into consideration, that certain performance levels are naturally going to decline during this time. But actually, what can also happen is that people can get overworked and they're spending too much time because they're used to being in a more office environment, and now they're glued to their screen. So we're going to talk about how to have those discussions and have you be successful in having those discussions. We're going to take a look at how you coach them in general, and then how to use technology to help your coaching of them and their performance really kind of accelerate. What I'm discovering now, and I'm coaching now exclusively through this medium, I'm finding that people are actually very responsive and very much more focused in our coaching conversations because we're all focused in towards our video and our audio. So at the end of this call, we're going to be able to then have you download a quick summary of all the tips and tricks so you're not busy trying to write them all down. And we're going to be offering a little bit of a freebie if you attend. If you can attend this seminar at the end, you'll be given information on how to sign up for a 30-minute coaching conversation with me or one of my coaches. So we look forward to seeing you at this time.
All right, I know I'm looking forward to it. I've seen plenty of webinars talking about tips for, working at home or managing a remote team, but I haven't seen many that are talking about managing performance, or like you mentioned, actually is interesting, tips for having them measure their own performance, that sounds good too. I know it took me a long time to learn how to work from home, so I think that sounds great. The webinar is is Thursday, May 7th from 12:30 to 1:15, and you can register for free. And then at the end of it, if you register, you'll be fortunate enough to get a free 30-minute consultation with Jim, should you want it. So we look forward to seeing you there. And there also will be time for Q&A, so that's another good portion of the time.
Absolutely. We want to hear from you. We want to hear from you about what your experience is like. So look forward to seeing you.
Great, thanks. And just register through the form on the page, and you'll get all the call-in details, and we'll see you then.